Hello and welcome to Oval Adventures. I'm Krista and I'm glad you're here with me today. I have some canning projects to do. As you know, we try and keep a well-stocked canning room. It's not my pantry, it's my canning room. But this last year I wasn't able to do much canning because of my multiple surgeries. So now I am trying to make up for a little bit of lost time. Not gonna stress myself out though if I don't get enough done. I'm just trying to get a few meals on the shelf just in case for emergency purposes, or if we come home late from an event or something, and I just need to be able to throw some things into a pot and cook it up for dinner. So I am going to be making corn chicken chowder, or chicken corn chowder, depending on how you want to say it. And I'm going to get those into jars and get them up on our shelves. while I was making the recipe for the chicken corn chowder, I also threw together some stuffed butternut squash for dinner. So this was really easy. I just used a bunch of stuff I had laying around. So I had ground beef. I had like a 1 pound package of ground beef. I had kale. I had some frozen mirepoix, which is a combination of celery, carrots, and onions that are just chopped up into small pieces. Had those in the freezer, and I had some cottage cheese that I wanted to use up. I had some mozzarella cheese. I added garlic powder. The word was escaping me. Pepper and salt. I have some red bell pepper strips that I wasn't going to be using in the chicken corn chowder, and some eggs just as a binder to hold it all together. And I made them into kind of meatballs and just put them in the cavities of butternut squash, and I am now baking it. My family won't be home for a while yet, so I'm probably going to have it in here for a good hour before it's all done. I always like to wash my jars off because they tend to get a little bit of greasy residue when you're canning things that have meat in it. So I'm just washing them off and getting them all clean. I'll rinse them, set them on a towel to dry, wipe them off, and then continue with the rest of this process. I always want to make sure that I label and date the items that I put into my canning room, because a lot of times after things are canned, they look the same as something else. So I want to make sure that I know, and anyone else who's getting jars out of the canning room for me, know exactly what is in the jar. So I'm writing that it's chicken corn chowder and the date. Of course, the best part of anything that you do as far as canning goes is eating it when you are all finished. So this night was a busy night. We had a lot going on, so I decided to pull out a couple jars of the chicken corn chowder and get them heated up for my family for dinner that night. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to add a couple of things to it, one of them being sour cream. It just helps to make it kind of a more creamy consistency, because when you can, you cannot put any kind of dairy product or thickener in the product. So it's kind of like a base, actually. Anytime that you can a soup or a chowder or a stew or anything like that, you're actually just canning a base. So I am adding some sour cream, and that will give it some nice rich flavor, almost kind of like a taco soup flavor. I also decided that it needed some cheese. So I am breaking up some white cheddar cheese into the pan and just going to get that nice creamy texture and cheesy flavor along with the chicken corn chowder. Heating up something with sour cream and cheese in it, it's really important to make sure you do it slowly so that you don't scald it. But the family was getting a little impatient on this night, so I bumped up the heat a little bit, and I'm just going to keep a close watch on it to make sure that it doesn't scald. tasting what you make is really important as you're doing it so that you can make sure that you have things seasoned properly and you're giving your best food to the people who are going to be enjoying it. So I tasted it and I decided it needed a little bit more salt. So I did add some salt and I'm mixing that in, and then I'm going to just let everything simmer and kind of come together, all the flavors come together, and then this will be ready to serve. There are 6 of us in the house, so meal times, I need to make sure that I have enough food for everybody to have, a decent amount of food for the evening meal. So after, stirring this for a while, I kind of thought about it and I went, I think I'm going to add another jar of the chicken corn chowder. So that's what I'm doing. I'm adding another jar. I will also flush this out for a full meal with some organic blue corn chips and some salad on the side too. So we have the chicken corn chowder with the corn chips and a salad to complete this meal. It's finally ready. Everything is cooked all the way through. The cheese is melted nicely. The sour cream is well incorporated. And my family is definitely chomping at the bit to try some of the chicken corn chowder. So I'm going to get this into bowls and then get it served to my family. And we are going to have a really nice warming meal for this rainy evening. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to see that having meals on the shelf is just something amazing that helps the family out. And when you're having a very busy night, you can just pop a jar open and pour it in a pan, and you have something hot and ready to go, and you don't have to resort to a drive-through or takeout. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.